Nick Newman may be closer to losing control than ever before, and the terrifying part is that the people who love him most may already be too late to stop what's coming. Secrets are building, dangerous alliances are forming, and one shocking decision could send multiple lives crashing down at once. But the biggest question now is this: who will pay the price when the truth finally explodes in Genoa City? The next 3 weeks on The Young and the Restless are shaping up to be emotional, intense, and deeply personal for several fan-favorite characters. From addiction struggles and risky deals to jealousy, romance, and family conflict, there's a storm brewing across Genoa City, and almost nobody will escape untouched. Let's start with Nick Newman, because his story may become one of the most heartbreaking developments we've seen in a long time. During the week of May 11th through May 15th, Nick appears to be heading toward a dangerous relapse. After everything he has already been through, viewers know just how fragile this situation really is. Nick has always tried to present himself as strong and dependable, especially for his family, but the pressure surrounding him has been building for weeks. Now, with his secret pill stash still hanging over him, there are growing fears that he may give in to temptation. What makes this storyline especially emotional is that Nick does not seem completely ready to ask for help. Instead, he may continue trying to carry everything on his own shoulders, and longtime fans know that this is often when characters make their worst mistakes. Nick has spent years trying to be the stable one in the Newman family, but even the strongest people can break when enough pain builds up underneath the surface. And he will not be able to hide his behavior forever. Adam Newman is expected to confront his brother, and viewers can already imagine how tense those scenes may become. Adam and Nick have shared years of rivalry, resentment, and complicated family history, but beneath all that conflict there is still concern. Adam may push Nick hard for answers, especially if he notices signs that something is very wrong. At the same time, Victor Newman is preparing to step in as only Victor can. Victor getting tough on Nick for his own good could lead to explosive family drama. Victor has never been known for gentle parenting, and when he believes someone is losing control, he tends to take charge in a powerful and intimidating way. But with addiction involved, tough love can sometimes create even more emotional damage. There is also the possibility that Victor's pressure could push Nick further into isolation instead of helping him recover. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman will be dealing with fears of her own. As a woman who has battled addiction herself, Nikki understands exactly how serious this situation could become. That gives her emotional reaction even more weight. She knows firsthand how quickly addiction can destroy relationships, trust, and stability. That is why Nikki turning to Jack for support feels so important. These scenes could become deeply emotional because Nikki may feel helpless watching her son struggle. Fans who remember Nikki's own painful battles over the years may see heartbreaking parallels here. Sometimes the hardest thing for a parent is realizing that love alone cannot save someone. And while the Newman family deals with Nick's crisis, Victor will also launch an urgent mission to find Matt Clark. That alone raises major questions. Why is finding Matt suddenly so important, and what happens if Victor's security team reaches him before everyone else does? Matt's presence continues to create mystery and danger across Genoa City. His amnesia makes him unpredictable, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes this storyline so compelling. Matt may not even fully understand who he is or what role he plays in the growing chaos around him. But one person who seems unexpectedly drawn toward him is Patty Williams. At Crimson Lights, Patty and Matt are expected to connect, and this could become one of the most fascinating developments of the entire storyline. Patty has always been a deeply emotional and unpredictable character herself, so seeing her bond with someone like Matt creates endless possibilities. There is something very interesting about two emotionally vulnerable people finding comfort in each other. Could Patty become someone Matt trusts completely? Could she influence his future decisions? Or could this friendship create even bigger problems for everyone involved? The emotional tension surrounding Matt only grows stronger once Phyllis Summers enters the picture. Phyllis will apparently start dropping ominous hints before moving forward with some kind of trap. And if there is one thing soap fans know, it is that Phyllis rarely makes a move without a bigger agenda hiding underneath it. She wants an advantage over Victor, which immediately makes this storyline dangerous. Victor and Phyllis have spent years battling for control, revenge, and power, and neither one of them likes to lose. If Phyllis believes Matt can somehow help her gain leverage against Victor, she may be willing to take enormous risks. That is where things become especially concerning for Nick. Spoilers reveal that Nick will reach an agreement that could lead to danger, and there is already speculation about whether he and Phyllis could team up regarding Matt. If Nick joins Phyllis in a risky plan connected to Matt, the consequences could spiral out of control very quickly. This is where viewers may start worrying that Nick's emotional vulnerability will cloud his judgment. People struggling emotionally often make impulsive choices, especially when they feel desperate or trapped. Nick may believe he is helping solve a problem, but he could actually be placing himself directly in the path of even greater danger. And in classic soap fashion, one bad decision often leads to another. While all of this intense drama unfolds, another storyline will quietly continue building emotional momentum in New York. Holden and Claire Newman are expected to grow closer during their time together there. For many viewers, this relationship dynamic may feel refreshing compared to some of the darker stories happening elsewhere. But that does not mean it will be simple. A major reason Holden and Claire may bond more deeply is because Holden could finally tell Claire the truth about his ordeal in Lowe's Angels involving Audra Charles. Honesty changes relationships in soaps. Secrets usually destroy trust, so moments of vulnerability can create powerful emotional connections. If Holden opens up about what really happened, Claire may begin seeing him in a completely different light. And that emotional honesty may pull them even closer together. At the same time, Audra's shadow continues hanging over multiple relationships. Her connection to Noah Newman is already creating jealousy for Sienna Bacall, and that tension appears ready to intensify in the weeks ahead. But before we get there, another major story may take center stage. Kane Ashby could end up going to New York with Lily Winters despite the terms of his bail clearly stating that he cannot leave town. That decision alone could have huge consequences. However, Kane's motivation seems deeply emotional. Right now, the biggest priority is Malcolm Winters and the bone marrow donor situation. Kane appears willing to risk everything if it means helping Lily and possibly saving Malcolm. This may be one of those moments where emotion outweighs logic. Soap fans understand these kinds of sacrifices. Characters often break rules when family is involved, especially during medical crises. Kane may know the risks, but he may decide that protecting the people he loves matters more than protecting himself. Still, viewers should not expect the legal system to simply ignore his actions. During the week of May 18th through May 22nd, Kane may face serious fallout if he violates the terms of his bail. In fact, even worse legal trouble could be waiting for him. That creates another emotional layer for Lily. Just when she may start reconnecting emotionally with Kane, outside pressures could threaten everything again. Relationships on soaps rarely get peaceful reunions without obstacles appearing immediately afterward. And speaking of emotional complications, Sienna Bacall may soon find herself pulled into terrifying territory. At some point, Sienna is expected to have a disturbing encounter with Matt. Considering Matt's unstable situation and mysterious behavior, that scene could become extremely unsettling. Genoa City may not be a huge place, but sometimes running into the wrong person at the wrong time can completely change everything. Sienna may become deeply rattled after seeing Matt again. And emotionally, she already has enough problems to handle. Her jealousy over Audra's connection with Noah Newman will continue growing stronger. From Sienna's perspective, Audra represents unfinished business and emotional danger. Exes in soaps rarely disappear quietly, and Sienna may fear that Noah still has unresolved feelings buried beneath the surface. Jealousy can slowly poison relationships, especially when insecurity starts taking over. If Sienna begins doubting Noah's loyalty or emotional commitment, tension between them could increase dramatically. Even small moments between Noah and Audra may suddenly feel threatening to her. Then, during the week of May 25th through May 29th, Sienna and Noah will shift their attention towards something much more exciting on the surface. The two will work together on Genoa City's version of the Shadow Room. Preparing for the grand opening should bring excitement, creativity, and hope for the future. On paper, this sounds like a positive distraction from all the emotional chaos surrounding them. But longtime soap viewers know better. Big public events in daytime television almost always come with shocking twists, emotional confrontations, or outright disaster, and this upcoming opening may be no different. In fact, spoilers hint that the event could become the setting for Matt's memory flood. That possibility changes everything. If Matt suddenly begins remembering important details during a crowded grand opening event, the fallout could be explosive. Memories returning all at once can completely transform a character's motivations, fears, and actions. And depending on what Matt remembers, several people could suddenly find themselves in danger. That is what makes this storyline so suspenseful right now. Nobody fully knows where Matt's journey is heading, which keeps the audience emotionally invested. Every encounter, every strange reaction, and every memory trigger feels important. And while all these emotional storms continue brewing, Devon Winters remains furious. Devon's anger over Lily reconnecting with Kane is expected to keep growing, and it may start damaging his own marriage in the process. This situation with Mariah Copeland appears to be another major issue. Devon may become so consumed with his desire to see Mariah punished that Abby Winters starts reaching her breaking point. There comes a moment in many relationships where one partner becomes emotionally exhausted from constant anger and obsession. Abby may be approaching that moment now. If Devon cannot let go of his bitterness, Abby could begin seriously considering separation. That would be a heartbreaking development because viewers know how much these characters have already survived together, but emotional exhaustion is real, and sometimes resentment slowly destroys even strong relationships from the inside. What makes this especially compelling is that Devon probably believes he is justified. In his mind, he may feel that accountability matters and that Mariah should face consequences. But there is a difference between wanting justice and becoming consumed by vengeance. And Abby may decide she can no longer live in that emotional environment. As these storylines continue unfolding through the end of May, fans should prepare for romantic surprises, emotional shakeups, and dangerous turning points across Genoa City. Nick's struggle may become even darker before things improve. Victor's desperate search for Matt could uncover shocking truths. Phyllis may be playing a dangerous game that risks hurting everyone around her. Claire and Holden could grow closer in unexpected ways. Kane may sacrifice his own future for the people he loves. Sienna's jealousy may threaten her happiness with Noah. And Matt's missing memories may become the key to a disaster nobody sees coming. The emotional stakes are rising fast on the young and the restless, and if these spoilers are any indication, the next few weeks could change multiple lives forever.